Hello everyone and welcome back to this FM17 experiment with Cambridge United and the perfect 11 players. We changed the stats of 11 first team players for Cambridge, changed their age as well and made them the perfect possible young players. Now last time that we went through this, we did manage to see them go from League 2 and League 1 up into the Championship, which they won in first place at the end of last episode. They also managed to win the FA Cup twice, which was not bad going. If we have a look at their club history, just a quick overview of it, you can see they've won the FA Cup twice now, and the EFL Cup twice, the Community Shield twice as well as consecutive league titles. 3 trophies now added to their cabinet through the league. They're currently being managed by Gus Hiddink, and they've got a lot of players worth a lot of money. Now, last time we left off, we were just about going to the Premier League, and we made the decision, which nobody really seemed to have an objection with, that we were just going to go forward 4 years, see where the club is, and not worry about bringing players back into the club, because previously teams like Arsenal had been poaching these best players because they're so young for quite cheap money, about 10 to 20 million pounds, and I'd had to manually bring them back to the club each transfer window. This time, now they're a Premier League club, we're just going to let them run with it and see where they go. So we're going to check in 4 years from now and see where this perfect team have got to. Their third season looks like it got off to a very good start. I'm not going to linger on this one too long. We know they're performing at the top of their level, putting together a very nice win before beating 3-0 by Everton away from home in the league, but then getting back on form, going through in the EFL Cup quarter-final 3-0 against Manchester City, through in their Champions League group stage quite comfortably as well, carried on their form in the league before being beaten by City 2-1. Won in the EFL Cup semi-final against Watford and the FA Cup. They were forced into a third round replay but managed to come through that comfortably into the final of the EFL Cup. Managed to keep going, beaten 1-0 by Derby County in the Premier League. That must have been quite embarrassing, but they beat Valencia 3-0 in the first knockout round, knocked out by Watford in the FA Cup at home, but managed to win the EFL Cup on penalties after that and got through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and they beat Barcelona 2-1 home and away to put themselves into the Champions League semi-finals. Carried on their Premier League form, very dominant there. Managed to beat Dortmund home and away in the Champions League semi-finals. So they're in the Champions League final for the second year in a row, only their second appearance in the competition. Clearly winning the Premier League title again. And for some reason, the Champions League final is not showing up for me. Give me 1 second. And then beating Bayern Munich in the Champions League final. Adam McGurk getting the goal. This time they do win the competition. They are champions of Europe. Just, I want to say 5 seasons after starting. This was a 22 season, so it was just their 5th season with this perfect team. And they've managed to win the Champions League and the Premier League and the EFL Cup to give themselves a treble. It's not the treble, but it is a treble, and it is pretty encouraging. Now onto their final season, the most current season. They have lost the Community Shield but won the UEFA Super Cup for the first time, doing well in the Premier League and the Champions League group stages where they were drawn with Barcelona and crushed them 4-0, beaten by West Brom in the league but carried on their good run of form before losing to Watford and then being knocked out by Derby County in the EFL Cup quarter-final. That's quite embarrassing, but they do win the Club World Cup easily, continue their league form and getting through in the FA Cup. Then back-to-back league defeats will not have helped them very much, but they get through the FA Cup, win against Sporting in the first knockout stage quite comfortably, make the FA Cup semi-finals, then draw with United in the Champions League quarter-final and are beaten 3-0 away from home. A horrendous run of form right here. Draw and then 4 defeats. We've never seen them go through a patch of form like that, out of the FA Cup and the Champions League inside the same week, but managed to keep their league form going. I know that they won the Premier League this season as well, and there is actually one more season which I seem to have missed, but let's take a quick look. It looks pretty much perfect at this point. They're winning absolutely everything. Have they lost the game? They haven't lost a game. This is looking encouraging. Through in the EFL Cup quarter-final on penalties and in the semi-final. They do lose in the league 3-1 to Man City, but they managed to get through in the EFL Cup semi-final and the FA Cup, keeping it going. drawing with Sporting in the Champions League and then crushing them in the return leg in Cambridge. Beating Man United, drawing with Barcelona, and then going through on away goals to the semi-finals. Winning the FA Cup semi-final as well, winning 3-1. They did win the EFL Cup final, against Chelsea as well. And then managing to beat PSG away from home in the first leg, and then crushing them in the return leg as well. Clearly winning the Premier League by a mile. They then win the FA Cup and the Champions League, all in the same season. So they've won the quadruple. If you include the start of the season, they've also won the Community Shield as well. So that's 5 trophies in one season for them. And I think next season they could well go and do the septuple, or is it the sextuple in the UK? I think it's the septuple, 7 trophies in a year. If we just have a look at their Premier League record, going back to the first season, you will see that in their first season they won the league by 5 points. Not bad for your first time out. They then won the league again by 9 points in their second season, almost going unbeaten, just that 1 defeat in the league. Lost a few more games the next season and only just snuck the title by 2 points. Went again and won the league quite comfortably, 3-point gap, 89 points, but they did lose 7 games that season. And then this season they finished well clear, breaking the 100-point barrier. They did finish 11 points clear of United, and they only lost 1 game, so close to that unbeaten season again. Now let's take a look at their transfers and just see who they've managed to hold on to. If we have a look at their transfer history and go back a few seasons, you will see that they did let Joe Pigott go, although I might have brought him back. Let's take a quick look. No, he did go to Arsenal, Joe Pigott. And if we have a look at his career stats at Arsenal, they're pretty incredible. 23, 21, 17. He is a striker, so he's going to do well. Bradley Halliday also did go to Manchester United, where he's been a right back, and he looks like he's been pretty exceptional there, getting the 8-point and above ratings, doing well, very well for them. Otherwise, no major players leaving. They did bring in Ruben Neves and Moreno. Banega came in as well, and Fournier, definitely replacing the players they lost. The next season, Ikpeazu went to PSG for up to £71 million. Not bad at all for him. He's had a good record there, getting lots of goals and a very good average rating as well. They did bring in El Abdoulawi and Paco Arca as well. The season after that, no major players going out. They did let a few fringe players go. Didn't bring anybody in either. Happy with the squad that they got. They let Paco Arca go the next season. He was the other great striker that they had, I think. In fact, they might have brought him in. Yeah, they actually signed this player, and he went for £63 million to Manchester United. That's not bad at all, given he barely played the season before that. They did bring in Arben Chimili for £3 million and Ebuel, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Ebuel, I think. He was brought in at centre-back. Apparently that's what he looks like. I'm not sure that is what that man looks like in real life. But there you go. Daniel Amati coming in for £8 million as well. And then the season after that, this season, they have spent a bit of money on Esposito from Milan. No big players leaving. So it looks like they've managed to hold on to the majority of their team. If we just have a look at the senior squad, you'll see that they still, if we sort it by average rating, have a lot of the best players. I think the 7.92 and above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of their players are still at the club. 4 have left, but they're still more than good enough to be winning the title very comfortably every season. And as you can see, just winning every league title since we gave them these players. Now, I'm not sure if there's any point in doing another season. Do let me know in the comments if you think it's worth it, because we have kind of seen them win everything. They've got Luis Enrique in charge at the moment, and some of the players have left. So let me know if you are interested in just seeing how this goes on. We can maybe go forward 5 or 10 years or something, but just let me know in the comments. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed this experiment and this episode, and subscribe if you want to see more like this. Let me know any ideas of things you'd like to see me try in an experiment. But until next time, see ya.